Welcome to Buccaneers Insider. I'm your host, Danny Rabinowitz. Today we'll be visited by men's basketball coach Butch Estes, and Jim McCurdy will sit down with a couple of the men's basketball players. But first, I'm joined by Barry University men's tennis coach George Samuel. Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Now let's flash back to last season. You have an unbeaten season and you win a national championship. Take us through that ride.
It was a long season. I never had any idea what was to come from it. But as it progressed, we started to see a lot of good things happening. There were a lot of close matches against some really good teams, and somehow we managed to squeak by on a 5-4 win against those teams. And before you know it, we're in a #1 national ranking going into the national championship without any losses at that point. And then going into the national championship, it all happened. And it didn't happen easy at the end. It was a nail biter, and it was as close as it gets, and we got it,
Now, Coach, how difficult is it to go through an entire season unbeaten, to get up for every match, to not have an off day, to be there every single day to win those matches? How tough is that to get your team ready like that?
Believe it or not, it wasn't that tough, only because they saw the potential they were having, and also we had the depth on the team where we were able to rotate a lot of players in different positions, so someone always wanted to be up for playing the match. And once the momentum started, it was hard to stop.
Now, Coach, you've won 4 straight already to start this season. You remain unbeaten. What kind of feel do you have about this year's team?
A good feeling, but I know there's teams out there that are very strong this year. We're down 2 players from last year, but we've replaced them with some other guys, and we're hoping that they can, step in their shoes, do the job. It's gonna be a fight.
Now, Coach, you'll take on Armstrong Atlantic on Sunday. I mean, how nice is it to have that #1 versus #2 matchup this early in the season? Is it a good measuring stick to see where you're at right now?
It is, but I think it's, like as you said, it's an early part of the season, so we're really not 100%. They're not 100%. It's on neutral territory as well. There's no home court advantage playing at IMG. It's going to be exciting. I enjoy playing against that team. I think there's a mutual respect for each other over the years. We've had some battles, so it's going to be exciting.
Coach, in terms of your players, are there any surprises you think we're going to be in store for this year?
I think our doubles will be strong. Even with the graduation of 2 of our top doubles players, I think the surprises might be in doubles. That's what we always try to lean for.
Now, Coach, you've been here at Barry for 24 years, and what has it been like to have that consistency year in and year out, and to be here at Barry?
It's a dream come true. It's something that I always wanted to do in my earlier part of life. I was hoping to be a professor at a college. I was hoping to be a tennis coach at a school, and that dream has actually come through, and it's come through to almost as best as it can.
Let me ask you about you. You're born and raised here in Miami, so you're coaching here at Barry, and you played some tennis as well in college. Tell me about that.
Well, I am a native of Miami, Florida. Played a lot of amateur tennis in my early career, and prior to that, then I went to Miami-Dade Community College, played 2 years for them, had an incredible experience in college tennis, went on to East Tennessee State and played there for a couple of years, and then my dream was to continue with my education, get a master's, get a PhD, and then come back to Miami and maybe find a coaching job, and it's all happened.
Now, Coach, you got an opportunity to coach against one of your former assistants, Thomas Hipp, just a couple weeks ago. What was that like?
That was perfect. It was. You have mixed emotions about it. You like the guy a lot because he was helping you develop your team and so forth. But at the same time, I want to win, and I know Thomas wants to win. So it was down to brass taxes, and both of us were going towards it. But I think we have a stronger squad this year. But I'm not going to caught off guard with him.
Coach, I want to thank you for stopping by. Best of luck to you this Sunday and throughout the rest of the season.
Thank you, Danny.
And now let's take an inside look at men's basketball as Jim McCurdy sits down with Derek Hill and Junio Barrueta.
Thank you, Danny. Now I'm joined by men's basketball players Junio Barrueta and Derek Hill. Guys, thanks for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having us.
Guys, you've created a lot of excitement for Barry University basketball this year. It's something that the campus has not seen. Talk about all the excitement that this team has generated for this school.
I mean, this year we came out with an intensity, especially being a new team, having a lot of new players, new coaches, and I feel like we brought a big excitement this year.
Derek, what's the key to making this team tick? Because you guys got a lot of new pieces this year. You've blended a lot of different guys from different backgrounds and different talents, some from different schools. What's the key to making it all work this year?
The key, I think, is like our bond, our team bond, our team chemistry has been excellent since the first day.
I know one of the things that you were excited about the most, Derek, was this fast-paced, up-tempo style that Coach Butch Estes has employed with this team. And now we've seen it because you've had games with 15 assists and 13 and 12 assists. Talk about being able to race up and down the floor and have teammates that you can depend on, where you can just dish the ball and it goes in time after time with this team.
In the beginning, it was kind of shaky, running up and down. We didn't know each other like that, so we had to build, and like since the beginning, it transferred over, and now it's just working.
One of your buddies here, sitting right next to side of you, has helped get you some of these assists with some of his highlight dunks, one of which ended up on SportsCenter. Unio, how good did that make you feel when you had a dunk that showed up on SportsCenter?
I mean, having a great point guard like Derek, he really contributes. He gives it good passes, and like he knows when to find us, especially when we cut to the basket. And first we had to. It was step by step with Derek. I wasn't really used to playing with him until we got later on in the season. Now I know when to cut and be open for him.
You guys are off to one of the best starts in recent histories with this team. If things keep up pace as they are, good chance that you'll be playing in a postseason tournament, which Barry hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities to do. So how good does it feel to know that you're a part of the team that's potentially sending Barry to a postseason tournament this year?
I mean, it feels good. I mean, having a school behind us and them actually believing us that we're gonna do good, it feels good.
What about some of the other guys on the team? You got freshmen like Adrian Gonzalez, who's had 30-point games. You got guys like Savad Garner, 6'2", undersized, battling their butts off. Juan Ferrales, who you came here from Florida International, to know that there's so many different options that you can go to on this team.
Actually, it's tremendous because everybody plays their role. We have nobody trying to do too much, nobody trying to be the hero. We all know our roles, so we all play our roles, and it's just working for us.
Derek, you've done some amazing things assist-wise and being a distributor this year, records and personal bests. Talk about what that all means to you, to be the assist man and to create some history.
It means a lot to me. Me and Coach Ryan, we talk every day. I wish I had a chance to, attempt to break his record, but you've been here for 4 years, I can't. Whatever, but it feels good, knowing that I could dish to my teammates, get them more, involved.
Finally, Unio, what's the best element about this team that if you had to sum things up, that you really enjoy about playing with these guys?
We come up with some funny jokes, we're like a little family, we started that this year, and hopefully, year after year, it becomes a tradition.
Well, guys, we really appreciate you stopping by on Buccaneers Insider. Continued success for the rest of the season, and good luck in the postseason.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now back to you in the studio, Danny, for a visit with men's basketball coach Butch Estes.
Thanks, Jim. Now we're joined by men's basketball coach Butch Estes. Coach, welcome back to Buccaneers Insider.
It's always a pleasure, Danny.
Now, Coach, you guys have had so much success this season with so many young players. What's been the key to really establishing your system here at Barry and getting these young guys to buy in?
Well, they've done a great job. I mean, I'm really pleased with where we are. Obviously disappointed in a couple of our close losses, but it is a young team, as you refer to. Magna Fievelstad is our only senior, and we're really going to miss Magna, but we do have a young core, and they've really come together and played some really good basketball. I think if there's one area that there's a good news, bad news thing going on, Danny. There's The good news is we have room for improvement. The bad news is we have room for improvement because we've got to get better defensively. That's our Achilles heel right now. And if we can do that, then I think, you know, you always talk about the team playing the best in February and March particularly. Well, we still have that opportunity if we can improve defensively.
How exciting is that for a coach to have so many young guys that you're going to have in your program for a while now, and you can continue to work with them?
Yes, it's a great base. However, as a coach, you're not worried about next year. You're worried about this year. So right now, it's all about, you know, our seniors, you know, Magna and Garrett, and how much they contributed to this program, and how we as a group can finish this year and see how good we really can do.
Let's talk about finishing this season, Coach, and it's been sort of an up and down so far. You guys have had some incredible signature wins so far this year, but the Sunshine State Conference, it's so difficult every single game for you guys. And what has that season been like?
Well, I think you could perceive it as saying, well, you know, you've had some disappointing wins, disappointing losses, but we've also had some amazing wins. And the reality from a coaching perspective in this league, it's so close that there's really almost no coaching involved. Sometimes it comes down to simply a bounce of a ball, a referee's call, a play by one person right at the last moment, and so it's exciting at times and very frustrating at times.
Coach, some of the guys that have really stepped up for you, let's talk about a few of them. Let's start with Derek Hill. Guy's playing incredible basketball for you right now, and he's really turned into that floor general for your team.
Yeah. Well, we would hope that would happen, and certainly it has. And I think it's come with him getting used to our system. And, you know, he's learned. He's a really student of the game. We have several of our guys that are what I would call students of the game. They watch a lot of film on their own. They really study. And you know, Derek has really learned from his mistakes. I think since the Nova game at Nova, that was the turning point of his season. He realized then that he had to make some changes. He did, and it's been all good for all of us since then.
A couple other transfers you've had step up, Juan Ferralis, Junior Barrueta, those guys have been great for you as well.
Oh, man. You know, Junior's consistency, you know, rebounding, scoring. You know, I think offensively he's still trying to grasp a little bit of what we're trying to do. And then Juan Ferralis, just, you know, consistent offensively, but the hidden area, the hidden gem for him is his defensive ability. He always takes the best player on the other team, and night after night, if you look at that player's statistics, they're not very impressive.
Now, Coach, how nice is it to know that you can go 9 deep, or, you know, if you need to, on any given night? Ari Williams is giving you great minutes. Alvaro Somoza the other night, Garrett Naughton. You know, guys have really stepped up for you off the bench.
Right. Well, you need that, especially at this time of year. I know you had George on earlier, and he was even in tennis talking about the depth. That's really true in basketball. And, you know, it's an area that we're good right now. We hope that in the future as we recruit that we'll get even better.
Now, Coach, is there one thing, you got some games left before you get into March, is there one thing you can key in on that you're really going to try to work on in practice, try to get this team to the next level heading into March?
Defense. It's just no question. You know, offensively, this is one of the best teams that, you know, we've ever had, and yet defensively we continue to struggle, and it's really a mystery in some ways, and yet we are really putting all of our attention on that end of the floor.
Now, how do you find that balance in between, you know, having a great offensive team and then also having that great defensive team as well? How do you find that balance?
Well, you certainly have to find it. I mean, how do you find it? I mean, you by repetition, by working, by film study, by making sure there's great communication between coaches and players to players, and, you know, a commitment and ownership by the players of it. There's just a lot of facets that go into it. But, you know, we have to take greater pride and greater ownership in what we're doing on that end of the floor.
Coach, I know the season isn't over yet, but can you sort of summarize, take a little look back? You guys have been ranked already this season. You're right on the doorstep of getting into a national tournament. What has this first season been like here for you?
Well, you know, every time you take over a program, you want to establish the base, and you want to do as well as you can do. So, you know, I think we've sort of established the base. We're not, the whole thing is not complete yet. It has been a surprisingly good first year. 2/3 of the way through, you know, yeah, we've accomplished some really good things, and we're in the running. I think if I had a goal early, it was just to be in the top 4 in the league, because we hadn't been there in a while, and, you know, we have that opportunity to say maybe a chance in the NCAA bid. So, you know, so far so good.
Coach, best of luck to you, and congratulations so far on a great season, as we're just a couple of weeks away from March Madness. Best of luck to you.
Here we go.
On Monday, February 10th, Berry men's golfer Adams Fenson shot a school record 64 in the second round of the Matlock Classic in Lakeland, Florida, on his way to winning his 3rd tournament of the season. Svenson's 3 tournament titles are the most in a single season by any golfer in school history. With one more tournament victory this year, he would match the school career record for tournament titles. The Barry University women's golf team won its first tournament of the spring at the Kiowa Island Intercollegiate on the first weekend of February. It was the Bucks' third team title of the 2013-14 season. Barry's women's tennis team opened the season with 4 straight wins in the first 2 weekends. All 4 of those wins came against ranked teams. Barry's softball team is off to a 7-2 start. The Bucks are 4-0 at home. The Bucks baseball team is 8-2. Barry swept a 3-game series at home to open the season and then swept a 3-game set at Tuskegee last weekend. Finally, on Saturday, February 22nd, Barry University will hold a special event to benefit the Make-A-Wish Foundation in between the women's and men's basketball games around 5:30 p.m. Make-A-Wish is an NCAA Division II fundraising initiative to grant wishes to local kids that Barry actively participates in. This year's goal is $15,000. To donate to the Make-A-Wish cause, call 305-899-4823. My thanks to men's tennis coach George Samuel. Special thanks to Unio Barletta and Derek Hill of the men's basketball team, and Coach Butch Estes. Make sure to visit GoBarryBucks.com for all your Barry Buccaneers athletics news. For Dennis Jezik and Jim McCurdy, I'm Danny Rabinowitz. Thank you for watching this edition of Buccaneers Insider.